Stan Gibilisco here. A couple of nights ago, I had a hard drive crash on startup on my most, in a way, my most important computer down in the nerd cave. It runs Windows 8.1 and it is disconnected from the internet to such an extent that it doesn't even recognize that there's any internet connection available. In other words, I eliminated the password to get into the router, so that there's no way that it can get around my wishes of not having it online. One way is just to make it unaware that it can even get online. However, the hard drive crashed, and that has all of my important data on it. It's the only computer that has it, and that's part of the reason why it's not on the internet. But I wasn't taking into account the fact that I named that computer the CrashMaster for a reason. The thing came up and very slowly and then said, we've had some kind of a failure, and I checked the folders that would normally contain my files, and they were all empty. The background was different. Everything was screwed up. So I shut it down by force, held the on switch, and let it just go off. Completely shut it down, turned it off, turned it back on again, same deal. Well, now what am I going to do now? I have most of my data backed up, but not all of it. I'm probably going to have to recreate a little bit of it because it's been a while since I've done a backup, even of the current work that I'm doing, tax returns being foremost among them, I guess, and videos, but they're all on YouTube anyway, the ones I've published. I can always download them. They're not particularly important, but the gist of the matter is I started just fumbling around for ways to deal with this. And I found that there was a shutdown icon on the screen, that circle with a line that goes through it, from the center out towards through one edge. I thought, I'll shut it down this way and see what happens. So I did. And then I turned it back on again, and wouldn't you know it, it came up normally. It had a chance to undo the fact that it had crashed. I guess the fact that it had crashed had lodged itself somehow in the short-term memory of the computer. I don't know how these things work, to tell you the truth. I just sort of fumbled around, but I shut her down and turned it back on. Been working normally ever since, but it crashes in various ways. It runs the operating system Windows 8.1, which evidently has been known to crash a lot. And in any case, I immediately got to work on my tax ledgers for this year, beginning to prepare for my tax returns. There's a South Dakota tax return and a federal tax return, and I haven't even started my pay ledgers for 2019 yet, and haven't even finished all the recorded ledgers for 2018. So I pretty much finished those up as best I could and backed them up on a thumb drive so that at least I wouldn't lose them if it crashed again. And the rest is, well, it's all history now. It's all history. Until, as they say, history repeats itself. I must not forget, I'm dealing with the CrashMaster 8.1. I'm going to ask for some comments here. What has your experience been with various Windows operating systems in regards to how well they performed, how fast they were, how often they crashed, etc., etc.? And what is your opinion of comparing or perhaps changing over to the Apple Macintosh operating systems, which I guess now have their flaws too, or Linux and Unix. A lot of people seem to recommend that. But I'm getting a little old and feeble in the head for that kind of thing. The feebleness in the head partially attributable to these bloody benzodiazepine, well, this bloody benzodiazepine called clonazepam, also known as Klonopin, which is trying its very best to turn me into a vegetable. And I am resisting its efforts to the best of my ability. We've been there before. And I guess we're going to be here a while yet. Anyway, if you know what I'm asking for, let me have a comment if you have anything relevant to say. I've been getting a lot of irrelevant comments lately that I've had to delete. But if you have something to say it. If you want to say, Stanley, you look like a fool, I'll probably leave that up because it's true. On the other hand, if you want to say something like, I think that the Green Bay Packers should win the Super Bowl, I'm probably going to delete that. Even though I'm a Packer fan, okay? Okay, I didn't make any sense. Stan Gibilisco signing off. Until next time, so long.